First tonight, Mark Allen Norwood charged in one Central Texas murder and suspected in another. But KXAN News has learned his DNA does not match a third cold murder case with a similar M.O. Norwood is charged with capital murder in Christine Morton's killing. She was beaten to death in her Williamson County home back in 1986. You'll remember her husband spent 25 years in prison for that crime until new DNA testing cleared him but matched Norwood. Then investigators wondered if Norwood might also be responsible for a strikingly similar murder that happened close to the Morton home 6 years earlier.
This was a brutal, brutal murder.
In November of 1980, 73-year-old Mildred McKinney was asleep in her bed in this Williamson County duplex where she lived alone.
Someone came in the back door and brutally raped her, beat her, strangled her.
The murder shocked neighbors and devastated McKinney's daughter, Pat, who'd gone over to check on her mother.
I started looking around the house, and when I got to the bedroom, I could see my mother's legs hanging out from the bathroom. She was half in and half out.
Pat Stapleton shared her memories with KXAN back in 2010. She had joined Michael Morton in a lawsuit to have DNA from her mother's crime scene compared to the Christine Morton crime scene. Michael Morton was fighting to prove his innocence in his wife's murder, and the lawsuit noted the similarities between the two cases, as Pat had done in these newspaper clippings she saved over the years. Most notably, the furniture piled on top of both women's dead bodies.
There was similarities in the cases. You can't ignore that.
Williamson County Sergeant John Foster has been investigating the McKinney case since 2007. He'd hoped a DNA match in the Morton case would lead to Mildred McKinney's killer too. So when a judge ruled that new DNA evidence could be tested in the Morton case, that DNA was entered into the nationwide CODIS DNA database. And there was a match to a known violent criminal, Mark Allen Norwood. But District Attorney John Bradley is now confirming publicly for the first time that Norwood's DNA did not match DNA taken from the McKinney crime scene.
They've done all of the testing, they've done all the fingerprint comparison. None of that matched at all to anything that we already know.
Sadly, Pat Stapleton passed away this week on New Year's Day. Investigators say before her death, they told her about the new DNA results in her mother's case.
It's unfortunate that I couldn't, give her some closure to her mother's murder. I really wanted that, but, that just didn't happen. I feel comfortable that someday we will find the killer of Mildred McKinney.
Now, Norwood's DNA also matches a hair found at the murder scene of an Alston woman, Deborah Baker. That murder happened in 1988. He has not been charged in that case, but it is still being investigated.